Hello and welcome to Series 2, Episode 7 of 5 Cities, Garblag Games D&D 5e role-playing show. I'm Pete the DM.
I'm Jim, I'm playing Cormac.
I'm John, I'm playing Saint.
I'm Roger, I'm playing Aurelian.
Sam, Lena.
Pooh.
Ray!
Excellent. Cool. So, last time on 5 Cities, our heroes are engaged in horrible combat with 5 fallen creatures that had just been belched out of a spire which has torn asunder the almost city of High Star. The town is in ruins, but the local household guards have now flooded into the streets to fight off the remaining creatures that have been birthed into it. Our heroes, led by the defiant Aurelian, the god Usain.
Yes.
Follower
of the god of
Not
Usain.
actually.
Not actually, yeah.
I'm the god Usain.
Okay.
So I've got to be level 20 if I'm a god, right?
More than that.
If someone asks you if you're a god, you say
yes! Are striding purposefully into the spire, into the open maw of the cavern. Your boots trudging through the disgusting slime and goo that has poured out of it. Now our heroes have just advanced to level 6, so everyone's got a little bit more stuff.
I've got
more
more protection.
Cool.
Action surge.
And as Aurelian stepped into the cavern, he cast a light on his hammer.
Oh, no, sword. I'm holding
Sword.
a lightning sword on.
The Star Sword of Alva.
Yes.
So, what is the wall of this cavern made of? Is it rock or is it disgusting slime?
It is rock with a fine honeycomb structure which is oozing a disgusting slime.
Maybe it's bees.
Corruption bees.
Corruption bees.
Is
Is the slime the same
I've
slime?
got bees.
Is it the same slime as the slime that was on the creatures?
Yes,
I wonder where they
but a
got
slightly
it from.
diluted version.
Samples! Not
you look it. but as you are a paladin of Abutar and immune to corruption, it doesn't do anything.
It just tastes bad.
It's always
Yeah.
to more. I know what to say to everyone. It tastes diluted.
It tastes like Marmite.
Can I cast Sacred Flame on it to see how it reacts?
Marmite is beautiful.
Can I cast Sacred Flame on it to see how it reacts?
It burns.
This is radiant damage, not fire.
Oh, okay.
It still burns.
Yes.
Hands white.
It takes 9 radiant damage.
It burns white,
Hooray!
but the white retracts in the rock, so it disappears. Your light casts down into the tunnel that is heading downwards, and you can see that it's curving up to the right. So much so that sort of 50 feet down, you can't really see much further. You think it's it looks fairly steep,
That's alright, we can't get lost.
but you are trudging through.
We're already lost.
Okay, so you're going to head into the
Let's
cavern.
do it. With purpose.
Okay.
Go
So,
for the trudge. Captain
You
America
head
goes to the
down
trudge.
into the darkness of the vile spire.
He's got
Corruption.
his shiny
Mhm.
flame sword.
But at
I
the
like
edge of that,
Lightning crackling.
at the edge of that
At the back, yeah.
light, there is pure darkness.
as in darkness, as in we can't see through it with dark vision. Or?
You can, but you've got a big
It's
light
just
next to you
really
right now,
dark.
so you're not using it. It's really
I
dark.
know there's some magical
really,
darkness that you can't.
really
Really
dark.
dark.
I'm slightly in front of it. As we walk,
Slightly, I'm slightly in
as we walk, I'm gonna try
I
and
am going to attempt
Take
to
out my
hide in
book
the
and-
light.
try and draw.
in
it.
the light.
Yes.
What are you hiding behind?
Ninja?
No, I'm just going to dance between the lights so that no one can see me. I reckon I can do it.
What?
In what way?
It's fine, he's being pooped.
He's being put. Okay. He starts dancing around in the light.
I'm
Just
gonna
take
take.
completely
as
ignore
we're
whatever
walking-
they're doing and just walk.
You
Yeah.
were stealthing successfully. Everyone's ignoring you.
As we're
Well, I
walking,
really am.
As we're walking, I would like to take out my book and sketch one of the creatures that we just fought.
Okay.
Because it was nothing like we'd ever seen before.
You've never seen anything like that before. Make an history roll. Or
Yes, I'm good at
arcane.
history. Oh, I'm good at history.
He's very good.
26.
As you're drawing it and sort of making a few notes about the physical traits that you saw, you
Died.
start to realise that this fits the description of what's called a fallen, which is a creature that is alive when it is twisted by the forces of Attilam and his corruption.
Like the pod people. You know when that guy got eaten by the pod? That at the start of it?
That is a slightly different form of aberration.
Would Peter and I have known what they are? Because we were told about the fallen by
Jeff.
Yeah, as you're all walking down the corridor, you're starting to
Augur and Hybrid. You told us about the fallen, didn't you?
Yeah, you're starting to put together the fact that these creatures weren't risen because they looked very different. Risen are dead before they are.
I shall tighten the gauze that I wear on my face around my mouth to prevent me from swallowing any more black goo.
Okay.
I've
notice
got another layer on it as I'm wearing it before.
any engravings on
When
my
I-
shield
But it
as I'm
seeps
holding
into
it
your
up?
skin through your pores and eyes and all
As
kinds
long
of
as it
things.
doesn't go down my throat, then I don't.
No.
Do I, as I've got my shield up high, do
Yeah.
I notice anything engraved on my shield by any chance?
Make a roll.
13 plus whatever. I don't know what I can add.
Intelligence.
13 plus whatever. It's fine.
Intelligence.
Plus 2, 15.
As you start heading down and you start to round the corner, you see that there seem to be holes, larger holes in the walls, so the floor and the ceiling of this tunnel.
How big?
Sort of maybe 1 foot to 2 foot across, and they kind of radiate off in different directions as this is curving around. And as you head forward, you see that one of them, which clearly angles up and outwards, has a white crust around the interior of it, and there is a blue twist of light moving around in the light that's coming down through the shaft.
Ooh, Saint, look at that. Is that... Can I hypothesize that is what I did?
Yes, you
Yes.
can, and you do.
Yes.
As you approach, you can see that there is a crack in the rock going from the white crust and across the corridor.
So it penetrated quite far then. What did you do?
There is a faint white
I
crust
channeled
in the crack.
the holy light of Abutar into this construct and removed its corruption.
Nice.
I could do it again if you'd like.
Maybe not right now.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps later on, once we find
What
out if
exactly-
the heart of this spire.
What exactly
Perhaps
do you do?
I channeled the energy of Abutar into it and poured all of his light into the construct, and it took form and rooted. It looks like, and it got this far down, so it
So
definitely penetrated.
trying to remove its corruption.
Yes.
Maybe if you use your sword with that funky thing you did, where you did the whole blue.
Yeah, I could do
Beast
that. I could do that all day if that's what we're going to do.
Shall we find what's down here first to see if there is a centre to it and we can defeat it
Yeah.
with these powers?
Could do.
Who's got the highest passive perception?
I have 11
17.
What's passive perception?
wisdom and
It's down there.
No, but I think I just got an extra one because is it Dex or is
No,
it
no,
wisdom?
wisdom.
15.
Aurelian.
Okay. You hear faint whispers on the edge of your perception. And you think for a moment, at the edge, down the corridor, you see some pale light floating in the air and then it's gone.
What colour was the light?
It was a very faint blue.
that's
It moved off in a particular direction.
Down away.
Okay.
Let's play Brave.
I will relay what you just described to the others and say I think it's
Let's
fire.
go! And head off.
I cast augury. Is that a good idea?
Well, you just done it.
You have to remind me about this one.
It's just a
Oh, is it good
and
for you or
yeah,
bad for someone else or
you
bad
say
for you?
you say it's good or not
What?
bad.
Wisdom of the ancients?
It's wisdom of the ancients. I close my eyes for a second and breathe. Just breathe, and the path of the future opens up in front of me. Should be near the beginning. It's begins with an A.
I've got to A.
A for Aardvark.
In your mind, the pool,
Okay.
the reflecting pool that you saw before with the priest of Abutar,
Yeah.
and the water drips into it, and in your mind, the drip hits the surface of the water and it freezes, and the ripple that begins very slowly to spread out across this puddle is almost like the possibilities ahead of you. And you sense that within the waters there is both good and bad.
I sense a mixed future for us if we follow this path. There will be good results and bad results, both well and woe.
Well, that's awfully specific.
Carry on.
That's the kind of delivery you'd expect, isn't it? Surely. That's the whole point of Augury.
There we go. Let's carry on.
And someone with the letter H will talk to you about money.
Someone with the letter H in their name will talk to us about money.
And there will be a tall, dark.
Okay, so you're going to head down the corridor?
Yes.
Okay.
I see myself in a skin-tight black suit. Sorry, what?
As you walk down this corridor, you see that it's curving, and after a while, it seems to end, but you realise it actually drops into darkness.
There is a perfect shaft of death down there.
A perfect shaft of death, an imperfect shaft.
Well,
Oh, good.
However,
Nice.
before you reach the edge of this shaft heading down, from the rock around you, 5 lights rise out of the surface, crackling blue light in a vague shape, humanoidy shape, rise up out of the rock. One of them starts to move across the corridor and goes through the wall to the left. Another one starts to move down the corridor and towards you. Another one from behind you starts to move up into the ceiling very slowly. They just seem to be moving around about you.
Is this you?
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm going to try and touch one.
Okay, you reach out to touch one, and as you do, for a moment, the form seems to solidify. Not physically, but sorry, it focuses. That's the right word. Focuses into that of a woman. You can just about make out, wearing some kind of very fancy robe that kind of comes up to her face, just framing her face. And she seems to be not regarding you at all, as if you don't even exist. And she seems to be talking to someone who is right in front of her, but there is no sound.
These might be apparitions
Can
of
I attempt to literally
past events.
It's not quite fully in focus, so there's something.
Oh, we're gonna have to go
movement,
down.
but it's kind of very blurry.
In Satorian garb or vocal?
I don't think you can
or
quite
really quite
really
tell.
old? Okay.
It looks really old.
These are apparitions of the past events, I believe.
Is this the blue that you saw when the same kind of blue that was moving around?
Yes.
We should descend into the darkness.
And I
Okay.
walk towards the.
One of the apparitions, as you've named them, moves across and brushes past Aurelian as he steps forward. You kind of move at the same time. You don't really realise, and you kind of focuses slightly. You see a young man, and suddenly he looks in alarm and horror and turns and runs through the wall behind you.
Ghosts.
look behind me.
There's nothing there.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm just checking.
Worth checking.
It's behind you.
Aurelian, could you cast light on my sword? And I can throw it down the hole, see what's there, and then get it back.
Yes.
Do they feel like anything when you touch them? Who touched
How
it?
far down the
Cormac.
cave?
Alright.
I'm assuming it didn't.
You didn't really feel anything.
Well, if one person touches them and they come slightly more focused, if 2 people did, maybe they'd be able to see them better.
I don't think we need to dwell on it.
So how far down the pit can I see?
How far does your light extend?
30 feet.
Just
Probably
drop
30
the...
feet.
40.
40 feet. So you can see that this shaft is not straight, kind of goes down in a slightly uneven form. You think that if you had ropes secured somewhere, you could probably clamber your way down.
Ropes, you say?
Is it further down than we can see?
It's further than 40 feet.
Okay, I'm going to pull out a copper coin.
You now think you're below the surface of the street.
Below ceiling.
Okay, I'm going to pull out a copper coin,
Mm-hmm.
cast light on it, drop it down the hole.
Okay. Make a dexterity roll just to make sure you don't throw it onto the first
It's
step.
flop. It sticks in
Oh.
some goo.
If you roll a 1, then you're in trouble.
5.
Oh, you're fine. Right, so you throw the coin down and it doom, doom, bounces off the side. Doom, 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 and it rolls down the last slope and it sort of keeps rolling, lands. You can see that now about 65 feet down, there's a bottom and you're looking down this kind of, it's almost like a lava tube kind of thing. But this fine honeycomb structure, you can see the dripping liquid around the walls. Down the bottom, your coin is casting light, and you can see a bit further on a red glow. But you can't tell where it's coming from.
Would that red? Well, if there was a red glow, wouldn't you have seen that before we threw the coin down?
It's maybe
It's quite hard to see in the dark,
maybe
like red light.
it wasn't there until the coin came down.
Well, I'm going to set up some ropes and some hooks and throw
Yeah,
a
red,
rope down.
red light is totally
I'm
not
just
a
going
bad
to climb.
thing, right?
I'm just going to climb down.
Okay.
It's very slippery. There's all this stuff dripping down, so you can if you want to, but it'd be quite
You need
difficult.
covered in it.
I'm just going to climb down.
Okay.
I'm going to get some help you with your rope.
Okay.
I've got some
You
rope
guys
too.
set some ropes up.
Yeah, I'm going to go down a rope.
Make a athletics roll to climb down the.
I do love ropes.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Sounds good.
I got 24.
Are you cartwheeling down?
Yeah. Depends
Oh
on
no,
you.
I'm going with the rope.
It'll be athletics.
All
Let's
right,
climb.
24.
Cool.
I'm going to
You climb-
attach my shoe
You
spikes
climb down.
and
There's a
my
little bit of
climbing
like, oh,
spikes.
I've slid to that bit, and then I've climbed down that bit, and then I've slid to that bit, and then I've climbed down to that bit.
I'm
You
going to
guys-
attach my foot spikes and my climbers.
Okay.
So can I gain advantage to climb down?
You can.
Excellente.
I now have a glowing pocket.
Go. I'll take that one.
How long does your light spell last?
22.
So you put it in your pocket.
Oh yeah.
Well, then it's dark.
Says Poot. Put the light back.
22 to get down
Okay. Cool.
Oh, do I have to roll?
Yep.
What is it?
19.
Athletics.
Athletics.
I rolled 12.
Okay.
Has the lights literally just gone out?
Well, Poot, as you get to the bottom,
Yeah.
you see ahead a long corridor.
Yeah.
And there's this dripping coming from the ceiling now. And ahead, you can see a red light in some sort of chamber. It's maybe around a corner or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You can see red glow.
I only want to put the thing away to see if I can see better. To see
You've got
the red
dark
light
vision.
better. Yeah.
Okay. You put it away, and
It'll plunge into
as you
darkness.
put the light away, the red light goes out. Okay. Okay, the rest of you descend.
As soon as the light goes out, I'm going to have to pause because I can't see.
Okay.
I shall take it out.
Yeah, okay.
I was
There is no
literally.
light.
I only wanted to see.
Sure, yeah. Yep.
And then I'll take it back out.
I still don't stop you from saying Poot.
Find a penny, pick it up.
And then I'll go back down and I will take my coin.
Okay.
I will not
Lena, what
resist
are you doing?
taking your coin.
and then
I
put
will.
it away.
I will supervise them climbing down,
You're gonna watch and tuttle off.
probably. That, and if I'm last, then they're not watching me, and until I land on them, because I will fluff it. once they've kind of gone down,
Mhm.
presumably it's a bit quieter up here.
Yep.
Can I hear anything? Because this tunnel kind of keeps going and off, right? But we found the sharp
No.
bit. Does the
Just
whole thing
ends
just kind
and
of
it's down.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. Hmm.
And anything it's just kind of general drippy.
You can hear the
Echo.
faint noise from outside of the battle and stuff like that,
Mm.
and there's drips.
No.
Absolutely. And maybe what sounds like a gust of wind every now and then.
Okay.
Okay, the rest of you are standing at the bottom. You're going to climb down. You get advantage because there's nice ropes and everything set
I'll
up.
come down.
Okay, cool.
To clarify, I dropped it from the
Are
corner.
we,
and
are
put
we
it on
making?
my
Are
shield.
we making plunge?
Okay.
Light, I mean.
Yep.
Because I can't have more than one.
Okay, there's light now bouncing off your shield. Did you get down okay?
Plunge check.
Yeah, athletics advantage.
16.
Yeah, you're fine.
Do I now see any inscriptions on my shield?
You're obsessed with the inscriptions, aren't you?
Apparently, there's an inscription.
He hasn't noticed it yet.
Would you like me to look for you?
Well, no. Let's go forth unto the chamber.
Okay.
Despite having sat and stared at it for
How
an
long have we
hour,
been-
he hasn't
Why
noticed
don't
it.
you
been walking
shield
for?
slam me in the face and then you can look for the
How long
imprint?
have you been walking for?
How does that work?
5-10 minutes?
I think it's something
20 minutes.
Oh, right, is it? Oh, I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Forward unto the chamber.
Yes.
So
Okay.
he has to put it up and you have to punch it and
Punch
it will
it.
hit him in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys head into this chamber. It opens up.
So I shall tell them that when you put the light away, the red light goes. So I don't know whether if you want someone to go into the room to see what it is without the red light. The red light only comes with light, so it must be reflecting something.
No, I can check it.
Well, does dark vision work in pitch black?
Well, it's not pitch black if there's.
Yeah, but if I turn my lights out and that goes out, it will be literally pitch black. There will
Yeah.
be no light at all.
Yeah.
And that dark vision.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right, okay.
that's the point.
All right, I will stop moving and I'll turn my light on.
Okay.
So you're blind and you're
Well, you
No, I'm good.
put your hand on my shoulder and I'll walk, and then you'll know when you're
blind.
I'm good. I can see.
Like down there.
I'm blind.
Okay. We'll leave you two.
All right, put your hand on my shoulder. Oh, actually, you
Blind,
can't.
leading blind, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so who's going into the room?
Put your hand on my shield. My shoulder's a bit high.
I thought,
Who's going into the room first?
I can see that.
well, yeah, go on then.
I've checked for
And
And you're a
traps.
deep stalker, aren't you?
I'm.
I'm
That
trying
kind of
to.
was what I was
I'm
thinking.
trying
Check
to
for
move
traps.
quietly,
Investigation.
Yep.
Come on. Natural one. There are no traps.
Well,
So no
technically, I'm still at the back of the
Oh,
party
careful.
anyway, so.
That's
Not
my
for
very,
camera.
very clumsy.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 4.
For what?
I was
Okay.
going to
So that
suggest
becomes a 5.
that,
Oh.
as Poot suggested, we should maybe check it out beforehand. I was going to do it, but yeah, maybe not. Stuff.
Yeah, I thought that's what we
Yeah.
just
No,
agreed.
But
Yeah, that's why you're.
Bit late.
I was going to turn the light out,
We're
and
in
then
the
and then I was
So-
going
yeah,
to go and.
Lena was going to go
Okay,
ahead.
Lena- Lena's already-
I'm not moving anywhere.
Yeah,
Because my hands on
yeah.
your
But you were
shoulder.
not stomping
No,
about.
no.
If he's
So
not
Lena
moving,
goes-
I'm not
Lena-
moving.
okay, so
I'm
Lena's
gonna-
going ahead.
Too many voices.
Lena's going ahead,
Oh,
and then
what's
when
happening?
Lena
Yes.
gets there, she'll give me and then we'll carry
If
on.
she wants to give you the thumbs up.
Yeah.
So, Lena, you
Yes.
approach the room.
Hmm.
And as you walk in, you see to the right, it's a large chamber, probably 100 feet across, the long way, 50 feet across the other way. There's a couple of corridors, sort of dark
Holes.
patches over there.
Okay.
And sticking up through the ground is some sort of crystalline structure, which looks like 3 tendrils that have spiraled around each other, poking out, and they're broken at the end, almost like there's shattered remnants on the floor, and it seems to have almost like it's grown out of the ground.
Did the light go out again?
There's no light now.
Okay, how big is that? Like, if the room is 100
It's
by
like-
50, how big
It's
is
like
the
a
big-
20-foot growth coming out of the ground,
Does it
crystalline
look
structure.
like a small version of outside? A smaller version of outside?
Well, no, because this is clearly not rock.
Okay.
This is it's a rock.
So
it's
like a big
crystalline
spiky-
structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does there seem to be anything not rock in here? Like, is there any kind of suspicious, lumpy, prone kind of thing. Last time we were down in a cave.
Like some risen light.
There was a big guy laying on the floor.
Make an investigation roll. It's difficult because it's dark,
dark,
and everything's quite
And
dark.
everything's
And even though
black
you've
or
got-
grey.
Yes, exactly. Even though
Yeah.
you've got dark vision,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, I'm
It's
not used
really
to this
goddamn
place.
dark down
yeah,
here.
and what's normal and not.
Yep. None of it.
Go for it.
20.
20. Okay.
Plus some things.
That's cool. Okay, as you sort of take a few steps a bit further into the room, and you're like adjusting, looking around, and you realise that there are kind of encasing areas on the ceiling that look like structures of
Yep, suspiciously kind of.
a slightly different darkness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I
dark.
shall kind of work out where that is.
There's several of them now as you're looking, and you
Yeah.
think there's probably around 12 in the room, dotted across the
And
ceiling.
how big are
They are
like
about
kind of
8
10
foot across.
ish with
Oh.
space to yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, one of those creatures outside couldn't have fit inside one of these,
Okay.
but you could fit inside one of them.
I might, but I'm not going to. Right, and I shall make my way carefully back and quietly relay this information to
Yep.
my companions,
We are companions.
and with the express suggestion that they do not go charging off and trip over things and poke stuff and oh dear. But yeah.
Are you looking at poop when you say that? 'Cause I'm
No,
looking
more saint actually.
I definitely think we want to go and at least look. I mean, and before we burn, I definitely think we want to look.
If you're
don't we?
looking for a centre point of this event, it's the 3 pointy things in the middle of that room.
Well, let's go and have a look at them
I
for science.
think that we.
But I also would remind you that there are other things.
Are we going
about
to
12
flame the room before we go? And
About 12 other things.
Well, let's
You
investigate
never know
what
whether
those
it
things
looks up.
are first.
Well, but if you suspect these tendril things, maybe the centre of it, perhaps Saint could try
Science.
Well,
thing.
judging
purifying
from-
them.
Judging from where
Can
we
Saint-
come
can
down
Saint do any of that?
and where it goes up,
Can
the
Saint-
angle
can Saint
I
do any
would
of that?
imagine
Yeah,
kind
roughly.
of
Yeah.
correlates,
Roughly.
right?
Okay.
Can we have some
Can you
light?
get it all
maybe?
back? All right. Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna
Stealth.
Can we have some light?
Yes, you can have
Right, are we
that.
turning light back
Yeah,
on?
you
So
can
I
have
have
that.
quietly, quietly,
Not very stealthy.
with detail,
but not crap,
Not
sort of middling.
middling.
quietly
stealth.
with detail, explained
Oh,
what I saw,
Sure.
and then what I think we should not do.
As you pull out,
I rolled really bad.
you casting light again.
Oh yeah, they said turn the light back on. So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Okay, as you cast light again,
There's a noise next door.
that's a great somatic component for light spell. Okay, there's a
There's a creaking
There's a
noise from
faint
next
red
door.
glow coming from the next room, and as you step towards the entrance, the corridor's sort of 10-20 feet wide. You can feel vibration in the back of your neck, kind of your hair standing on end. And as you come in, you see it's 3 crystalline tendrils that are wrapped around each other as they come out of the ground. And clearly something at the end of them is broken, as there are shattered bits of crystal on the floor. Not sure what could have done that. And as there is now light in the room, you can see that there are 12 ochre sacks attached to the ceiling,
I don't like it.
dotted around the room,
Are they all open?
just over 20 feet apart. No,
Hmm?
just dotted around them. No, they are thick, brown, full of liquid.
Like
As Saint, you walk into the room, a blue apparition rises up out of the ground in front of you and walks. You see it now, it's slightly more formed than previous ones. and you can see its legs and its arms and the shape of its head. Not any more detailed than that. Some kind of strange robe on, and the figure moves towards this crystal structure and seems to be doing something, but not quite in line with where it is. Sort of.
So it may have moved.
Is the crystal thing evil?
The
I don't know.
light.
Can't you?
Well,
find out?
now that I'm here and the light's
I
back on, where is the
can,
light coming from?
but
Is it
The crystal
overground
is
crystal
glowing red.
red.
Shroud my vision.
So
But I will use divine sense.
what else has been a glowy red crystal?
Bad things.
Bad thing.
And
Red is
Oh,
bad,
that's
blue is
fine.
good. I use divine sense.
Red's not necessarily bad.
It is corrupted.
Haha!
But is it corrupted or is it corruption?
Does the
Corrupted.
thing,
I start towards the
does
spirally
the
shard.
red crystally thing feel remotely similar to the Shard of War?
You would need to put your hands on it to figure that out. Because remember, when you touched the Shard of War, is when it really made a difference, and you could sense the heartbeats of those around you and feel the structure of it inside your mind.
Protection from corruption. I'm gonna walk.
I was doing
Okay.
that
Yeah,
first.
By the way,
he was
no, so sensory.
How
Because
long,
it takes you a moment to
Yeah,
do
no, I know.
that.
how long does protection from corruption last?
10 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, the previous one's gone.
I think I'll do that.
Right, so Saint, you
I
walk
stand
over
in
to
the
the
doorway.
crystal.
Yes. And
And
again,
it's kind of at this
Staying
kind
in
of
the doorway.
angle.
Yeah.
And the apparition is kind of about here and looks like it's doing its arms. You can't see what it's doing. Its arms are kind of moving about.
I will stand where the apparition was stood. Can I still touch the thing?
Yes, just lower down.
And then I will concentrate and just touch it normally first to see what happens.
Okay, you put your hand on it. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god! Is
Might be quite
it
corrupt.
corruption?
No, it feels like
Ooh.
pain.
8
I
plus
like that. It feels like pain.
is 10.
Someone else's pain courses through your body. It doesn't feel like you are directly being hurt, but
Sympathy
someone
pain.
else is hurting, and it is hurting you.
Okay.
You take 4 points of psychic damage.
Oh, I wince back and go, I sense pain and I will alleviate it by casting Lay on Hands.
Okay. So how much lay on hands have you got left?
I've got it all now. I've just leveled up.
Okay.
I could spout it all if everyone wants me to start 25 points of Lay on Hands.
No, Callum, let's see what it does first.
30 points.
Oh yeah, I've leveled up. I will first spend I just do it. 5 points and remove corruption. Let's see what happens there. So I
Okay. So you do it. And as you do it, you feel, again, as you touch it, you feel this pain. So make another Constitution saving throw.
that's better. 17. I was
Okay.
more prepared.
So you only take 1 point of psychic damage as you feel this borrowed pain, someone else's pain coursing through your body. But you feel the blessing of Avatar upon you, and you pour that power into this crystalline structure. And the apparition near you becomes more focused. And from the walls around you, more blue apparitions start appearing, drifting into the room. Slowly, and these are poorly formed apparitions.
Have I arrived at it?
Yes, you have now arrived at it.
What happened when you touched it?
Well, the blue apparitions have come in the ring. Everyone can see
You
it.
didn't feel anything else?
Just
He said, I feel pain.
sympathy
Oh, yeah.
pains.
Okay, how did it react when you used your Lay on Hands?
The blue apparitions have come back into the ring. I'm not the only one who can see it, right?
No, yeah, everyone can
Like a positive.
No,
Right,
it's just
I'm
it's
resisting
something
the
has
urge to
happened.
prod a sack with my
Oh,
sword.
God.
I'm
Yeah,
standing in the doorway.
You guys, occasionally, Cormac, you turn around and see
I
Pooh
will
looking up at one of the sacks.
Now
Okay.
start channeling healing energy.
I'm gonna.
No, it's avatar energy, not dirty Dirty.
The red crystal looks more like the.
You're silent.
Your cyan
Cyan.
energy.
Okay, I'm gonna put a
No.
heal wounds into it.
Heal wounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
4, 7, 11.
Nothing seems to happen.
Hey, Saint, you do your thing again.
I will. Lay on hands, but this time I'll heal instead of remove corruption.
Okay. You lay your hands on it. So you're doing 5,
Yep. Just
Okay.
blocks of 5.
and you do healing energy into it. Nothing seems to change. Oh, when you both touch it, make a constitution save.
Oh, that's
Roll
a
that
cocked
again.
ass.
You got still got your thing.
10 plus 2, 12.
Okay.
No?
So you both take 2 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
See what happened? Nothing changed.
No, it's only remove corruption
Okay,
energy.
I'm going to cast 3rd level, whatever it is.
Remove
Remove
corruption.
corruption.
Okay. You put your hand on it again.
Third
Make another
level.
constitution saving throw.
You get
Oh,
plus
yeah,
1 from
lost.
me.
Oh, 21.
Okay. Take 2 points of psychic damage.
That's
hard.
just
This is a fun game.
Okay, so you cast remove corruption.
Yeah.
And you touch the crystal. You feel the pain, that borrowed pain, but as you put that blessing into the crystal, you feel something change, and a couple more apparitions seem to slide into the room. The crystal seems to change from red to a
Purple.
purpley colour.
We'll see where this is going.
You think that it's either snowing or there's ash coming off of the walls around you. And Cormac, you see this, and Lena, you see this. You guys are so focused on the crystal that you don't
So
really sort
again,
of see
when I
this.
touched it, how did it feel by comparison to the Shard of War?
Very different, but you could feel that there was some magic within, clearly.
We got some blue bit. We got some blue stuff from
Oh,
the.
you've got your blue.
Well, no, we got. I won't use them, but
You
I've
each got a
actually
blue orb.
we got a blue orb.
Oh, that's a good point. We're all carrying
We're
one.
all carrying one from the because we all got given one from
Same.
Bridburn.
So,
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
up.
I'm going to squeeze that thing onto
What's
it.
going up?
It's
What's
either
up first?
snowing or ash.
What am I looking at?
We
I'm
were
looking
saying
up. I'm looking up. They're
Looking
saying
up.
look it up.
There's
It's
like
snow
a
ash.
fine residue coming off of the walls, like ash or like a crumbly.
Is this
Does
like
it
dry
appear to be-
black stuff?
Yeah,
Is
does
this
it appear to
human
be-
corruption?
Does it appear to be killing the goo?
Let me have a look for science. No, no, it's not.
is it like the stuff in the crack?
I'm
Similar, but not white. But not white.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
prod
it's grey.
Saint with
No.
insight.
No,
Bing.
go away! Don't prod me.
So
He
did
doesn't,
you,
he doesn't like you.
did you put a blue orb?
All right,
on
you're
this thing?
unwilling.
Yes.
All right, you won't get it.
Okay.
Bing, insight. Is it that? Is it the black stuff that's dying?
It seems to be,
Saint,
or the rock is crumbling
Something.
slightly.
can you do the thing again? It was pretty cool.
Did
Do it
anything
again.
happen when you put the blue
24.
orb on?
Yeah,
No
well,
hands.
that's a good point. What happened when I put the blue goo on it?
Did you put glue on it?
Yeah, I went.
Nothing immediately.
How many? 5?
Yeah, I'm just doing blocks of 5.
Okay,
You doing healing or remove corruption?
Removing corruption.
Removing
as
corruption.
much as this weird kind of magic
Make a
stuff,
constitution saving throw.
as much as, they're having great fun with this
Oh,
weird magic
not enough.
stuff, as far as I'm concerned, if we're in a tunnel underground and stuff's falling off the ceiling, that's probably not great. Is anything, is the ground shifting again? Is anything,
The ground hasn't shifted.
Are there any other entrances?
There are several other entrances going off into what must be the belly of this spire.
I'm just staying around these two because this theme's important.
Okay, so you put more magic into it, removing corruption, and the purple light starts to become slightly more blue than red, and the apparitions in the room start to form into what look like people wearing clothes, strange robes that all seem to sort of come up from the shoulder line to their face around here with a split down the middle. It seems to be the only strange thing. They all seem to have this kind of design of their clothing.
Have we seen
Yeah.
any pictures like that before?
Make an intelligence roll.
Can I do that? So
Everyone. Yeah.
No, I'm too busy concentrating.
22, but minus 1, 21.
So,
Unless I get history or
11.
19?
yep. On some of the tapestries that you saw in Highbeard's church when they went there, you saw people in the background of a battle standing on a hill wearing these kinds of robes. And when you were in Broodburn's quarters, you now remember seeing people wearing strange clothes in one of the
Mm-hmm.
tapestries.
I say,
the
do it
Magi.
again.
Possibly.
Okie
Yes.
dokie.
Possibly.
I suspect
They weren't wearing armour and in battle with Attilan in the dire armour that was going on. They were kind of on the hill watching over the battle, but seemed to be important.
She's doing it.
Okay, you do it again. And power ripples through the crystalline structure and it suddenly shakes violently as it turns a very clear blue colour, like the life crystals that you have. And the apparitions in the room start to form into people, and they start moving around the room talking to each other. You can't hear anything, but they seem to be talking to each
When
other.
you say they form into people, solid or still just like
Just
glowing?
like fully in,
Blue
you can see them. They're in HD, they're in 4K, you know, you can see them now. They are of all the they're of all the different bloodlines.
But they're all based
So there
on
are
the
humans,
same
dwarves,
root
gnomes,
thing,
elves.
because
You
everyone
see
speaks.
a sylph in the room walk through. Very pointed ears. You see a sylph, one of the elves who are now dead, with very pointed ears, very sort of aloof look on their face, but very attractive, very tall, very clean, long limbs. And the saint is frantically drawing everything. As the crystal structure shakes, the ground around you rumbles. And
There
you
it
hear
goes.
a sick tearing noise somewhere in the room.
Is it up there?
Up somewhere on the ceiling, a bit further away.
That one.
But this crystal, is it now? Do I think it's healed?
Is it supposed to be at that angle? Can we lift
Is
it?
it still in
No.
pain?
Touch it again?
Is there still pain?
I'll poke it without doing anything just to see if it's still in pain.
It's not in pain.
No, it's not in pain.
Can we lift it? Is it supposed
The
to be?
figure standing next to the crystal turns around,
Yeah.
and it's a man with darker looking skin and hair, black hair, sort of coming back into a long ponytail that hangs over the very high collar of his robe.
Yeah.
And you recognise the face of this man is from the history books.
Ooh.
This is Salaman, who was the first person to take the pilgrimage down to what became Satoria.
Ooh, he is a very famous wizard.
Are the bits that are broken off? You
That's
said there
what
was
my
broken
theory
off
that they're
bits on the
Magi.
floor.
Yes, there's sort of like crystally powder and crumbs and a couple of little bits and bobs.
Are the bits not turned blue as well, or are the bits?
No,
orange?
no, they're inert. They seem to be inert. Okay, you can hear it.
Glaring at things.
Okay, looking up at the sacks moving.
I look for this noise.
It's coming from a bit further down the corridor.
Great.
But there seems to now be sort of movement in most of these sacks.
Is the crystal big, small?
It's a 20-foot
Oh,
long
yes.
construct.
Sorry, I thought it
There's
might be a
three-
little board.
No.
Can we try and put it back in place?
Not sure we should stick around.
How could I put it back in place?
Can we try and move it, like physically move it back
You
into
could
place?
go round the
Yeah.
pointy end and try and push it up.
I
So
think we should go around and try and
potentially
push it
standing
up
might be
because
quite
obviously
difficult.
these apparitions think that it should be standing up. Should we
So-
do that again?
While they've been mucking about
Mhm.
with their new toy,
Just thinking if I could just cast
the
Nature's
broken
Wrath and make the
shards
vines
of
move
this
it into the
crystal,
right
Poop's already looking at that.
are they still red?
They're not glowing at all. They're just
They're just
inert on the floor.
Should we just try and lift it?
Yeah, we're going to move
I'm,
this.
I'm going to take a
the
couple of the
shard.
inert bits of crystal,
Sure.
pop them in my pocket.
Okay.
Mhm.
You guys are going to try and move.
Yeah.
Ray, are we going to try and lift it up?
I'm too busy watching at the sacks that look like they're about to
Alright.
move.
Okay.
Just us two.
Yep.
With our +0 to strength each,
Yeah.
Right. Strength
We've-
rolls.
we believe.
I have my
Fine.
proficiency bonus.
Good job.
It's on the floor.
But you've got about 20 d20s.
9.
Okay. So the two of you go round to the end of it and try to start lifting it up. And you feel like that it could move.
Alright.
It's smooth and it's difficult to get your hands onto, and it's got a curved structure. You're kind of like, where's the best place to
I
Aurelian,
think,
give us a
I
hand.
think if
you
we
hear a
all help,
squelching noise.
I think if we all help
from the end of
and
the
have
corridor.
one push before we have to defend
Corridor.
ourselves.
The cavern you're
Okay.
in.
Come on, guys, let's do it.
Everyone work together.
Can I pick? What can I work out where it's?
Make a percent. Unless you want to go down there and check it out. Are you trying to figure it out from here and
Okay, we'll give him a hand poke.
Yeah.
And
I'd rather
Let's
stay. I'd
on
rather stay at the
food
door
calling
because then I
myself.
can see the
Oh!
as soon as I
I'm
move
gonna
into
do
them and
4
stuff
actions.
behind me.
and attack rolls.
Was it plus
a D4.
D4.
D4?
Basically, we
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
D4 advantage to attacks. And
Oh, that's 7. 13. Oh.
18!
Okay. You look down the cavern and you
That's a
think you see some dripping fluid coming from two
That
of the sacks.
25.
Two of them.
So,
Except for my 8.
25 for me.
Saint?
I get to a D4.
I got 13.
Okay.
18, 22, 23!
Okay, so the four of you move around. Lena stands back with her bow drawn, and the four of you gather around and start pushing this crystal up. And it takes you a minute or so, and it makes a horrible scraping noise at one point. The ground kind of crunches and moves. You can see that there seems to be some sort of mount in the floor, but not the floor surface that you can see, and some surface beneath that, almost as if the black rock
Has
is
crossed
a
Didn't
layer
used
on
to be
top.
here.
Yes. You push it up, and as you do, it suddenly rotates and slots into position,
Nice.
and it starts to glow a bit brighter, and the blue light fills the room, and the apparition that's still standing there in front of it now seems to be doing something at a particular section of the crystalline structure.
I will copy his actions and do the same thing.
Okay.
It's a death beam.
He touches
It's an autosave.
the crystal in a couple of places. You don't see, there's nothing different about the surface. You do the same thing, and as you do, from the perfectly smooth surface, as if there was a hole, a crystal cylinder slides out into your hand.
Ooh. What is it?
The light goes out in the crystal, and
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I shoot now?
Put it back! Put it back!
you fire
Yeah,
into the
that's
dark.
right.
Okay.
This is a thing. I need the thing.
Right, fall back behind Aurelian. He's going to flame the room.
Okay. Run away.
Run away!
Run away!
The ground starts to shake as well.
18 on the second one. First one was a miss.
I think we should choose it.
I think we should.
You
I put the
hit
thing
an
to
arrow
really
flies
see
into
what
a
it is.
risen as it drops
Yeah.
from the sack to hit the ground. Its legs almost breaking under the kind of fall. And its head pops up.
Oh, hang on, actually. I think the first one would still be a hit with my +4. I don't know.
What did
I
you
think
roll?
it was like a 12.
Yeah, that would hit.
Cool.
They're not armoured, or dexterous. They're
Okay,
zombies,
so
effectively.
As they land after she shoots, I will turn undead. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So-
they might run out the corridor we want to go.
Well, no, you're between
Yeah.
them.
Can I shocking
I
grasp?
don't have destroy undead. I only have turn.
Can you what?
Shocking grasp.
I have turn, nature's
Just wait 1
wrath.
second.
Things like
Because
that.
Lena was queued
so
up.
10 damage on the first one and 7 on the second shot.
Okay, so the creature kind of disappears into the darkness because the crystal goes out and goes sort of beyond the edge of your dark
So
vision
beyond-
as you knock it
Further
back.
away than 40 feet.
Sorry?
Because
So
he's got a
further
light
than
on.
40.
Yeah, it's beyond. He's down there, down the end of the cavern. Okay, you see now that risen are dropping out of these sacks
Jesus.
into the cavern, and you've got the little blue glowing crystal in your hand, Saint.
Yeah.
It is kind of pencil length long, but as thick as a Pritt stick.
I will secure it in my
There you go.
in my.
That's an
surcoat.
inch across diameter.
I'll
For
secure
people who
it
don't know
in
what a
my
prick is.
surcoat and then cast Turn Undead.
Okay, you're gonna go. Cool.
Blue
Okay.
light just erupts.
And yes, echoes out across the room.
So they all take wisdom saving throws or run away as fast as they can from me.
I think we should run away as fast as we can.
Well, we're going to run in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
12 is the difficulty.
That's 3 running away.
Woo! It's working! It's
That's
working!
4
There we
running
go.
away.
Come on, Jeff!
That's 7 running away. And that's 8 running away. So there's 4 not running away.
Now we choose it.
Boom, turn
We
undead.
could probably.
And they're below. Any that are below challenge rating or challenge rating 3 or lower are destroyed instantly.
Okay, they're destroyed.
all of the risen in the room just go.
Yes. Yes.
Oh!
Yes.
There's shoulders moving.
Oh, what?
slightly.
What happened? Wait.
It's like,
Oh, wait, it's Turn Undead.
He's showing off.
Oh, yeah.
It's one
Okay.
trick.
I'm
He's a
leaving.
cleric. He is a cleric. You know. Okay, so the ground around you is starting to shake, and
Jesus.
around the base of the crystal, the black rock is starting to turn white and starting to powder in front of your eyes. Beneath,
Leaving.
you can see a very smooth, metallic floor with a green tinge to it, almost as if
It's Tillium!
the entire chamber might be created from Tillium.
We need to steal this.
The ground is shaking around you,
Running. We're running.
and liquid is pouring out of holes in the ceiling now, and ash
Jesus.
falling down.
Yeah.
You guys run back to the corridor and get to your ropes. You climb up the ropes.
Yeah.
Everyone make a advantageous climb roll, just to make sure you don't hurt yourself.
For landing the
Yeah.
paddling.
Natural 20.
Okay.
21.
I only got a 4.
Is
Got
this
4.
athletics?
You didn't roll a 1 though, did you?
No.
Okay, you're fine. Yeah.
Like 22.
Yeah, you can't wheel up the. Oh no, that was.
That was 2.
Yes, okay. You all make your way up. Saint sort of struggling, holding onto the crystal,
We got
and
you.
quite.
The crystal's been secured in my circle.
Okay.
So,
You make your way up to the top of the corridor, and the ground around you now really is moving, and you can hear more screams from out in the city. And you run down the corridor. Around you, apparitions moving in this corridor, and you can see now that there are people in these strange robes moving about, talking to each other. And as you make your way to the edge of the corridor, you think, Lena, being quite an observant person, that one of them may have looked at you. And you guys head out down the slope into the marketplace, and you can see now that the spire that had thrust up through High Star is shaking and falling apart, and it's starting to recede into the ground. As you make your way down through the street, you see this thing now pulling down into the ground. Horrible noise, creaking, scraping, snapping, tearing the world apart beneath you as it falls down again. And half of the city seems to fall into the hole
Oh, wicked.
as it's going, collapsing in to this
Conveniently,
great
it was already
crater.
evacuated. Mostly.
Mostly. And
Mostly.
you're kind of standing
Come
there,
out at night.
shocked. This is all collapsing around you. What do you want to do? Do you want to stand there and watch it, or do you want to head back to the...
I'll stand at a medium safe distance.
I wanna,
Okay.
are there any? Would there be any more black goo monsters around that we could try and find? I want to try and find.
Not in the immediate vicinity.
Did I notice we were being looked at? Because I am incredibly observant.
Yes.
I'd like to get clear of the crater.
I think I'm going to run off into the sound of the nearest fighting.
Yes.
It's fighting, seems to be fighting sort of around you, but people now are screaming, shouting. There's fires,
Nearest
Yes.
fighting.
breaking.
Nearest help that we can do by
Yeah.
fighting. So
Okay.
fighting.
Okay, so you guys head off to your
We're
right.
basically going to try and help people.
Okay.
While this
And
is going.
yeah, sure. And as the town kind of collapses into this hole,
Mhm.
you guys make your way around the nearby streets and find that the house guard of the Great Spears and the Aldsons have killed the other 5 creatures that were in the locale, and any kind of fighting going on seems to be opportunists, thugs, and ne'er-do-wells who are preying on the poor and the weak and the injured and the fragile, and taking this opportunity to loot.
We should gather together those that have been corrupted.
We should tell the guards about the corruption.
Half of the guards that you meet who are like, yeah, we took them down, yeah. They've got black goo down the side of their face or on their armour or on their
Tell them
weapons.
very quickly, just like, the black goo is corruption. Anyone who has
We're going to go and get it all cleaned off. We've been told to report to the barracks and get it cleaned down.
Don't need to just get cleaned up. You may need purifying, whatever the correct. Yeah, purifying.
Yeah, I would suggest you seek
Cleansing.
paladins.
Yeah.
There
I can't do it.
They're a man
I've
of
got
cloth.
5 points actually.
in the household.
Yeah, we'll talk to them.
And other than that,
who are you?
I'm a Radian cleric of Usion.
it's like we're here
What
from
does it
the,
mean?
from the House Brooklyn. Quick, let's go and help everyone. And then I go and attack some
Brigands.
brigands.
Okay. Right, so you guys spend a little while
Slaughtering brigands.
Not slaughtering,
fighting and maybe stopping and capturing some brigands.
We're capturing.
The freighter and mess of
There's
stuff.
slowly, every now and then, some more bits of the town are like sliding into this hole. Big puffs of debris and dust and
So the
coming out.
spire itself,
Yeah.
kind of
Crumbled and collapsed and
it's all
receded
gone a
into
bit
the
crumbled.
ground.
Is corrupt.
Yes, yes, a little bit of crumble, yeah. Folded in on itself and
Visible
then the
signs of
town's
corruption. I mean, in people. I mean, if someone's got corruption, can I see it?
Okay, if they're heavily corrupted, they'll be like coughing and spluttering and
Sorry.
have sores and.
Your best bet is to just quarantine the town.
I was just wondering if any of you were corrupted, would I be able to know?
Yeah, so if you get a few points of corruption, it won't be like, but it'll start to manifest itself.
Can I see any really nice buildings that are imminently about to get
Nickable.
On the edge of collapsing,
edge of
and
collapsing.
they have cool stuff in.
Yes.
Okay, yes, you do.
Okay. Well, I shall disappear
And make sure that there's no poor innocent souls trapped in there.
and make sure there are no points and cells trapped in there.
Okay,
And yeah.
okay, excellent. That's
Heroic.
it's very heroic of you. Well done.
Selfless.
Well, no, because what happens if all these people survive but they have no wealth?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to retrieve it and keep it safe for them.
I'm going to retrieve it for them.
I hope you leave a receipt.
No.
Where are you?
I have quite a high intelligence, you know. I'm not leaving no receipt
That's
or fingerprints.
That's your dex.
Look. They're the same.
Pointed at your dex. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, so Poot is rescuing valuables for people potentially to reclaim in the future. Cormac is wrestling with brigands and bears. Wrestling with bears. Yep. I assume you guys helping Cormac rather than Poot.
Well, I am.
Yeah.
What's Saint doing?
Dancing.
Investigating goo and crystal, I imagine.
Yeah, well,
How does a goo react to
being,
crystal?
being in serious thought about
Because
what we just saw.
She's picked up some more stuff.
The end image can just be me lifting it and going,
That's why I'm keeping an eye on Saint.
If you do,
I don't want to look at it yet, I'm going to save that.
you're going to save it.
Save it.
Okay.
For the next episode!
I'm going
Okay.
to save the investigation.
So as the ground collapses in and half of High Star folds in on itself, you rescue some belongings from a Great Spear household just before it collapses into the crater
Great there, eh?
within the town. And dust and ash and corruption and goo and slime have settled upon this half of the town, most of the town, in fact. And you start to take stock of what has happened and head back to the Aeromancer carriage where Tarn is waiting.
We
So
like
lots
town.
of goo around.
There is guru.
So I'm walking around the world.
Burning
Yeah.
tin.
Sacred flame.
Yeah,
Sacred
sure.
flame.
Just-
Sacred flame. Sacred
No,
flame.
no.
Like Twitch.
All the way back. Okay, and I think we'll leave that session there. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those other things.
Google
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah, that's the one. I'll get on Discord at some point. I think. I don't know. Who
I
knows?
was very good at Discord.
You're very good with Discord. Okay, proficient. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll join us next time on 5 Cities. Bye bye.